Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my channel, where we are going to continue exploring Tesla's full self-driving technology, its progress, and its limitations here in Melbourne, Australia. I would first like to address my most recent video and its very misleading title. I noticed in the comments there were a few unhappy viewers. I promise you, it was not my intention to mislead you. I was merely confused with the software update that was installed on my Tesla and the update that originally came out last year for full self-driving. As one of my kind viewers pointed out, the release notes are exactly the same ones that were released with the full self-driving update last year. I was mistaken in thinking that it was a whole set of new updates. It is definitely not a new software update for full self-driving. Without going into too much technical mumbo jumbo, I will just clarify for you that we are all still running the same version, and any small improvements that I may have perceived might merely be just full self-driving improving on its own, along with my very well-worded voice clips sent to the Tesla team. I am only human. I do make mistakes, so I apologize for the mix-up. But saying that, I definitely do feel the car is getting better with full self-driving every day. Why, just the other day, I was talking to my wife in the car whilst we were using full self-driving, and we were in a deep discussion about some topic, and then I suddenly realized, whoa, we're in the car and actually driving. It's gotten to this stage now where I'm only semi-conscious that full self-driving me is taking us places. I know I still have to pay attention to what it's doing, but it's at that stage. Sort of like when, you're actually driving your car, you sort of get lost in thought, and then before you know it, you're at your destination. Like your brain has been on autopilot the whole time, and you've done like a 20-minute, 30-minute drive, and you just sort of remember, or think, how did I get here? Well, that's what it's like with full self-driving now, especially when you have company or you're listening to a podcast or, whatever else you're doing in the car. Suppose that is the ultimate aim of the technology, right? To take you to your destination without you having to think about it. So anyway, back to what I was saying. That was my bad. I hope I didn't upset anybody regarding my misleading video title. Now with that out of the way, we can get on to today's video. I've got a drive here for you today. It went for approximately 15 minutes, again, here in Melbourne's southeast. It was a zero intervention ride, and I've sped up the stops, the red lights, anything which is not interesting for you guys, and basically just put the video at 1.25 speed because, we're just going down a lot of Melbourne's straight, really calm roads, giving way to traffic, etc., turning left, turning right. I guess you're all used to that about now. There is only one point of interest. I'll put it in the timestamp down below. And then at the end, I also give you what you all want, the auto park feature. So I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but the auto park feature does only come with full self-driving. So if you want the auto park feature, subscribe and use it. It's really helpful. And obviously the rest of full self-driving is really helpful. As you guys can see, going down this road, there's a lot of cars parked on the left and right, meaning the lane is a single lane. So you have to give way to traffic or go, which Tesla is doing right now. I've said it before, but I really like going down these roads because it's a really good stress test for full self-driving, for it, detecting oncoming traffic, detecting the spaces in between cars so that it can, successfully go through. I noticed that full self-driving with the surrounding cameras is really good at spatial awareness and actually calculating that distance. I'm always really, what's the word? Not shocked, but I'm always a bit overcautious and I stay away from vehicles where full self-driving, I notice it just goes through all the time really well. So this is the point of interest I was talking about. As you notice, we come to a stop sign, right? And we're looking for a space to turn right. And we're just sitting here. And then the car slightly goes forward. I think just there. No, just there. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but the speed limit went up, the speedometer went up to 1 kilometer, and the car slightly moved forward. So I thought it was something new that had happened, because usually Tesla doesn't have to inch forward to look left and right. The cameras on the pillars can see down both roads really well. And so in that instant, like, the car was actually moving forward just slightly, and we were both a little bit confused because it doesn't do that, like I said. And then we noticed in the main console that there were actually, I think, an elderly couple walking behind the car. So it detected that there were people walking along the designated path and going into the island in the middle, and it actually made room for them to move forward. So I couldn't actually see them coming because I'm paying attention, left and right to cars coming left and right. But obviously with the cameras set up in Tesla vehicles, you've got 360 view, but not just 360 view, 360 continuous view. And it's making decisions, safely, of course. It didn't go too far forward, but it's making little decisions like that, which really impressed me, because I would not have seen them. I'm assuming most people would not have seen them, because ultimately, as a driver, you're paying attention to what's ahead of you, what's left and right, and when is an appropriate time to cross. But Tesla here, that was a really impressive maneuver. Even if it was just a slight maneuver, we were very impressed. It was something new we hadn't seen before. And so I always like to show you guys as much as possible new things that we encounter, like little edge cases like that. Those are really important because they're things that don't happen all the time. What we're seeing now happens all the time. Like, it's gotten so good where it just, turning left, turning right, navigating roundabouts, pulling into oncoming traffic, even though it's a little bit slow, it does it safely sometimes, navigating streets. These things are just completely normal for full self-driving, which is cool, because if you think about it, most drives, like 90 whatever percent of drives, are just like this. There's nothing to see. It's just normal, safe driving. There's only how many times do you ever really encounter like an accident or a moment where you're like, oh no, I've got to really do something crazy here? No, it's probably 95% really chill and 5% hecticness, which is sort of like war, I guess. That's what most soldiers equate to. Like 95% is boredom and smoking, and 5% is like really bad stuff. If you watched my previous video, I talked about my wife not liking how the directions or routes which Tesla takes. She thinks it's not saving her as much time, or she would prefer just to go straight down the main roads. Who cares, even if they're like a bit congested? Well, I mentioned to one of my viewers in the comments that you can actually send the directions from your phone to your Tesla. So before you get in, or even while you're in there, if the passenger's got a phone, you can actually send the routes chosen by Google Maps to your Tesla app, so that as soon as you get in the vehicle, boom, the route's already loaded. So you can choose which route you want to take, whether it be shorter or longer or smoother, whatever you want. Whatever you can find in Google Maps, you can send that straight to the Tesla app, and then it just loads for you as soon as you get in, which is really helpful for full self-driving, because then you don't have to input the address when you get in, because you have to have an point of address to initiate with full self-driving. But also, you can take your favorite route, and then maybe hopefully the car slowly learns, like, this is the way I want to go, and this is where you should go, because it's my favorite route. Well, we'll see how it goes. Anyway, there you go, guys. That was a 15-minute video. Very nice and short. I hope I explained myself well about regarding my last video. This is just going to go into the auto park feature, which is really cool and really helpful, as you can see. I hope you liked the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. See ya.